Some of them is they wake up, the first step they press down, you know, K and N, very, very painful. And then, so now we're going with Anwar, he'll teach us some exercise for most people to strengthen the back, okay? I think this is something we all must do. All right, over to you.
Okay, so Mr. Liu, if you don't mind, can I get you to lie down?
Lie down.
So we're going to do something.
Face down or face up?
Face up, please.
Face up, okay.
Alright, so we're going to do something called McGill Big 3, and part 1 is for the front of your core underneath your ribs. So can I get you to bend your legs, please? Like that, fantastic. Now hands by your side and reach towards your ankle. Reach towards your ankle, stop right there. That's it, and you can feel that underneath your rib. Okay, I want you to hold it now up to 3 minutes. So don't
3 minutes.
3 minutes,
Just
but
hold
it's
it.
up to. So
Hand
you can
pull
do
back?
just up by your side, just holding it there. And you can do it in the start, you can do 30 seconds and then slowly build that up.
I'm
And
trembling.
So very, very simple exercise, but it can both be easy to hard depending on how you hold it.
Little got six pack come out. Huh?
Do this every day for a while, we'll see.
Can lah. If
There's a lot more you need to do for a six pack.
Oh my
Alright, okay, calm down. Let's move on to number 2.
Yep.
Alright, can I get you to roll on your side, facing away from me?
Okay.
So the full version of this is a side plank. So can I get you to go on your elbow? Right, knee straight, and go into a full side plank. So up, legs up, full. This one to be fully straight and up like this. Now that's a full side plank, but for many people this might be a bit too difficult. So one of the modifications we introduce is just to come back down, bend your knees, okay, and then go back up. So we call this a half plank, and then bring your bum a little bit forward. Yes. So that's a half plank, and you can see that straight line at the bottom. You'll
How
hit
long?
it a little bit in the bum. Same thing, 3 minutes.
Pull hand, pull hand.
Hand can be up hit anywhere, but preferably up here. And you want to make this a little bit more challenging. Straighten the leg, move it a little bit at the back so that your shoulder and ankle is aligned. Okay, hold that there. Hold that there. Don't let the leg drop.
How long?
Same thing. So you just hold it while holding the position.
Start 30 seconds.
Start at 30. You can move up. Don't let that sag. Up, up, up. Yes. Hold that there. Up to 1.5 to 3 minutes as well. Alright, you're going to repeat this on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, now
Next
the
one.
third exercise and the final one. Now there are 2 variations of this. The full McGill portion is you need to go on 4s. Okay, it's called the bird dog. And something really important, I'm going to put my handphone on you so you can feel something on your back. Okay, so don't let that drop or move. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is slowly lift up one hand and the opposite leg without moving your back. So you saw that rolled up, you're going to keep that down. The same position you are on all 4s is the same position. Fantastic, and hold that there. Okay? Same thing, 1.5 to 3 minutes. You're going to repeat this on either side. Alright, and what's important is don't arch your back. So bring that back up, bring that back up. You should be able to feel that in the core right there. Okay, if you're not feeling it in the core, we need to adjust. Sometimes it's about to go a bit forward. Yeah. Can you feel that in the core?
Yes.
Okay. That's it, and you're just holding that. Perfect. You can see my phone's not moving, it's not sliding, it's not tipping. And swap on the other side. Perfect. This side much better. Okay? So no arching the back, don't rotate either. Right, now some people can't do this, maybe they have wrist injuries or their shoulders are not so good, so there's another alternative. I'll take that phone off you. Can I get you to lie flat? Lie down straight flat. Okay, arms by your side like that, and just lift up. Perfect, yeah, perfect. And then just lift up your body and your legs like that. Just like that, and just lift up gently, a little bit, yeah. And you hold that, you're going to feel that in the back over here. So we've covered the front in the first one, the sides in the second one, now the back in the third one. You want to make this more challenging? Flap the arms.
Flappy bird.
So you'll feel that working that a little bit more.
How
once you
many
have some
times?
movement.
How long?
Same thing. It's up to 3 minutes, but you can start 30 seconds and move on. Once you can do 3 minutes for all, we can say that you have pretty good basic core strength.
Thank you. Thank you. That was good. Thank you. Thank you. So do this every day, okay? This one, I don't see that many, but I've got audiences that ask me, frozen shoulder. You know, I suspect that my whole life never get it before, although I did play this arm wrestling with my son, and then suddenly something piak inside. That's how you treated it. Wow, lucky he solved it. Okay, but what is frozen shoulder, and what's the symptom and how do you treat it?
Okay, so first, frozen shoulder, or the medical term is called adhesive capsulitis, is actually an inflammation of the capsule of your joint. So all joints have fluid in it, and to keep the fluid inside the joint, you need to have like a plastic coating. Think of it like cling film, around it. And what happens is that becomes inflamed and starts to tighten as it goes. Now, the cause of frozen shoulder, there are two types. Primary frozen shoulder is unknown. It just randomly happens, and it seems to happen in diabetic males around their 40s. But diabetes is definitely a very high risk factor for frozen shoulder. The second type of frozen shoulder is what we call acquired frozen shoulder. And that happens, maybe you set your arm wrestling, you hear that snap, which is probably not frozen shoulder, probably a muscle injury, and you don't move it because of the pain. Now, the lack of movement causes tightening of that capsule, and then you develop a secondary frozen shoulder. Now, while frozen shoulder is super common, it's mostly and quite commonly misdiagnosed. So there are two common conditions that keep getting mixed up. One, a rotator cuff injury, which is a muscle injury, and two, frozen shoulder, which is capsule inflammation. The treatment and the presentation is different. With frozen shoulder, I told you the signs, right? It starts as an intense pain that doesn't really go away, and worse at night, and terrible when you lie on the side. Okay, and it can happen out of the blue. Nothing needs to trigger it. You just woke up one day, realize, oh my God, your shoulder starts hurting more and more and more. The second part of it is a tightening, and it's called in three directions. We call this flexion, so you will have a restriction, and it's not small. You will realize, hey, I can't lift past here, and it's definitely a stuck feeling. Abduction, which is lifting sideways, and external rotation. So just put your elbows, tuck it by your side, and go to the side. You realize it's stuck compared to the other side. This is a classic sign of frozen shoulder. And resisted. So if you try to push against you, it's not really painful. In rotator cuff, the pushing will be quite painful because it's a muscle injury and you need muscles to produce force. So if you can differentiate that, in frozen shoulder, you need to get treatment straight away.
I see. And how common is frozen shoulder?
So it's very commonly reported, but once they come to us, we tend to find actually most people have rotator cuff tendinopathy, not real frozen shoulder. So that's when we do that test and realize you're not presenting like frozen shoulder. Sometimes at the start, it's confusing and there are not particularly a lot of scans that can pick things up. You can do an MRI, but a lot of times the MRI will pick up both.
I see.
And what you do is you monitor them closely. And if it's real, true frozen shoulder and you found the signs I reported at, you do a special injection called an intra-articular injection. An injection inside the joint. It cannot be done in a regular clinic where they just jab you blind. It's done under live imaging, usually by a specialist.
I see. So there is a lot of our audience that kena this heel pain.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't know why is it. There are a couple of people with different kind of pain. Some of them is they wake up.
Yeah.
The first step they press down.
Yeah.
K and N, very very painful. And then some of them is just pain non-stop. Some of them seems with gout. The whole joint here pain and here pain, that kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
Like the whole area here seems to have a lot of problem once you reach certain age. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
What are the common problem?
Okay, so while gout can be a common issue, it tends to actually present first in the big toe. And again, gout is a systemic problem of our immune system. So the pain is actually coming from a chemical process. Yeah, but the most common condition we see is something called plantar fasciitis, and that's pain at where the heel, the start of the arc really, right there. So it's very localized over here, and usually when I press here, I'll get lots of screams from my clients. And what you said just now, when you wake up in the morning, or even if you sat for a long time and then you stand, the first step usually feels like a knife jabbing into your foot. That is a very star sign of plantar fasciitis. Yeah, and it's caused by something very simple. A change in pressure to the plantar fascia.
In English?
Okay, correct. So once you place more stress on your arc, you'll get this pain. Okay, now what is the more stress? That's the challenge. So common things I get is change in weight. So when you gain weight, that's more stress on your feet, plantar fascia. Change in shoes. For myself, I removed my arc, I took a flat shoe, plantar fascia. Increase in activity. So some people going on a big holiday start walking a lot, or just go to Japan, 20k, 30k steps in one day when they're usually in Singapore only 5 to 6k. Change in pressure, plantar fasciitis. Change in running, some people, high rocks coming up, lots of these sporting events, they start training and running a lot more, plantar fasciitis. So these are I guess that's mostly the 4 areas. And last but not least is change in footwear, but I think I covered that just now. So these things place more stress on the foot. So the treatment is quite straightforward. First, we need to manage the stress placed on your feet. Reduce that. So once we've identified that, can we change it? Okay, so if it's weight gain, for example, one of the treatments is advising on weight loss programs and guiding. I help my clients lose their weight to help their pain. I'll do it with you. Change of footwear, introducing foot support that's appropriate. Sometimes we work with a podiatrist to get a custom insole for you. And next thing is when we talk about change in activity. Look, if you're going on a holiday, you're not going to suddenly walk 20k steps a day. A lot of those cases, once we just get rid of the pain, it'll go away. It won't come back. But change in running and behavior. Runners like to run for running training, but you should be doing strengthening exercises to prepare your body for the increase in impact, and that will take the pain away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like I did have that, and I changed my shoe. Then the whole problem goes away.
Because it took away the stress.
Yeah.
That was.
Wow. Such wisdom, right? This guy is good, right? Okay. Let's just last few general question. One is, once you hit 50, 60 years old, we like to continue to exercise, but every time we exercise, kena some injury. Injury come look for us. Like I kena this hip injury, I kena this big injury, tailbone, here pain, there pain, everywhere. What kind of exercise should we do once we hit, I don't call myself senior citizen of age, but when you hit certain milestones in your life,
That's a good way. How are you a certain milestone, right?
Yeah.
So the problem with a lot of sports is we don't prep ourselves and we do a lot of activity very suddenly. We're currently going through a bit of a pickleball crisis. A lot of people picking up pickleball, but having no experience playing any sport whatsoever. So we are starting to see tennis elbow, knee pain, ankle pains. It's just from doing too much too quickly. So very simple advice is, if you're going to do a sport, right? Let's take pickleball for example, right? One, start doing a conditioning program that we can go through. It really depends. It's custom, right? You tell me what you're doing, we design an appropriate one to prepare your body for the increase in stress. Two, listen to your body. Sometimes we get so competitive, we ignore all the sensations.
But they say no pain, no gain.
Rubbish. Throw that away.
Okay.
Can gain a lot with no pain, no need. Okay. So really, really listen to your body. A lot of times there are a lot of signals that we feel that we ignore, and then we suffer the next day. When you wake up, oh my God, you can't get out of bed. So really listen to that and calculate. If I got someone in the gym, first day, straight away lift up 100 kilos, you will tell me I'm insane. But that's the same thing, right? You're going from 0 straight to 100, but you should be starting at 1, 2, and slowly working your way up. So if you're playing a sport, go light. Maybe do half what you intended to do. If you instead of doing a 30-minute game, you can start first time 15 minutes in 2 rounds. So take a break and then do another 15 minutes. Ask yourself during your breaks, how does my body feel? And if you're okay, do a little bit more.
So I advise on the people, I started this movement called Young Again. I help people look young again, feel young again, fitness young again. And I share my experience of on average walking 15,000 steps a day. Is walking a very good exercise at 15,000 steps for people of our age?
Short answer is yes. But of course, if you're going from 0 to 15,000, your body's going to let you know it doesn't like it. Plantar fasciitis, like I said just now, right? So what we want to do is you want to taper it off. Rather than go sudden, think of your end goal. Okay, I want to walk 15,000 steps. Where am I now? Maybe I'm at 5,000 a day, and try to work a plan that gradually takes you from 5 to 15K. Here's a magic number, 10% per week. Okay?
10% per week.
Yeah.
10% a week. Okay.
So I'm at 5,000. Next week I'm going to do 5,500. Then the next week 6,050. You know, it just keep compounding, and then you will know how long it takes. Of course, you'll have sudden jumps. You know, sudden 20, 30. But if you keep doing those large jumps, you can get injured. If we minimize them, it's generally quite safe.
I see. Wonderful. Is that a good exercise, walking?
Excellent walking. And if you want to level it up, please go read on this concept, Japanese walking. I won't explain it, you can read on your own. Okay. Japanese walking is a way to level up your walking in a safe way.
Okay, I'll figure out what is it. So I find that just walking the parks and all this is okay, but it's relaxing. But when I go on the treadmill and walk, I seem to sweat a lot, a bit more strenuous. Not that I put any slope whatsoever. I actually find that I potentially burn more. Maybe it's a feeling. Why is it so?
Right. So two differences. We have park walking and we have treadmill walking. Now, when we walk in a park, you don't usually measure your walk. How fast are you going? How far you're going? It's not always closely measured. On a treadmill, you have to set a speed. So you keep your speed consistent and it doesn't change. Whereas on park walking, you're walking a little bit faster, then a little bit slower, then something comes, you go a little bit more, you see otters at Bishan Park, you run towards it. So your pace is constantly changing, slower and faster. Treadmill, steady pace. That's number one. Number two comes from that little incline bit that you're talking. You can level up and down, or some people actually do different speeds on the treadmill, but it a more consistent amount. Like I'll do 2 minutes at 5 kilometers per hour, then 3 minutes at 6 kilometers per hour. So that actually makes it a little bit more challenging. But now, if you're gonna ask which one is better,
yes,
you can actually get the same consistency with walking in the park. Just use either a smartwatch or a phone. It will tell you that you can keep to that certain pace. Keep a steady pace. Walking in nature is superior. Exercising in nature has been proven to improve mood, blood pressure, heart health, brain health, as compared to doing the exact same thing indoors.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of times I find that for me, I had the experience that I've got this pain. I don't know who to look for. I don't know you at the point of time. It's just misguided. You know, read books, read articles, YouTube video, look for physio, not knowing that physio got different type of physio, as in not just so much that their standards are different, but they are specialists in different areas and things like that. And a lot of times people suffer unnecessarily because of a lack of knowledge, right? Okay. So right now, a person is in pain, regardless of pain, the neck, the knee, the back, whatsoever, no? What's the first thing you need to do? Quickly run to you first, or what should they do?
So a lot of times I actually don't recommend running to me first. I need to get some information. Hard to give you one answer, like everyone is different, right?
Sure.
So most of the time I ask them to contact me, and I'll ask some questions about your pain, and based on what you tell me, I can tell you who is the appropriate person to go to. And sometimes that's not me. I've just had a case last week that the appropriate person is they thought it was an elbow pain. It sounded like an infection. So I had to actually send them to a specialist because this was an infection that they were dealing with, not a elbow pain that they thought. So first, get information, and here you go, you can share my contact. I'm always happy to do a little bit of an interview with them to ask like what's going on, and let me show you, point you in the right direction.
Okay, wonderful. You know what? I'm very grateful that my life you have solved so many of my problems. As I say, you had a problem. I love to see, not in your clinic, I love to see you outside for coffee and tea. But Sway, every time I come to you with so much problem, but you're one person that solved all my problem. I'm very grateful, thank you. So I'll put Anwar's contact for limitless physiotherapy in the description and on the video somewhere. Look for Anwar. He has got a team of colleagues to help him as well. All very good. Thank you for this free sharing. Okay, and let me encourage everybody who has got problem. Contact them. Get a quick diagnosis of problem, and I hope all you guys recover. I'll just say this. Most of us will kena some problem now and then. We don't like to see you, but when it happens, at least we know where to look for. Okay. Well, thank you, and thank you for your time to share all this with our audience, and we don't look forward to see you again, but I'm actually thinking of a time to do a live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, live stream, you can answer some of the questions directly.
Absolutely.
So if you are interested in a live stream with Anwar, I will let me know in the description or in the Young Again Telegram group. I'll organize a session with him.
Sure.
Okay.
Look forward to that.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank